I guess I'm a little bit late to following South Park. I just watched the episode on World of Warcraft. Officially it's called Make Love, not Warcraft. And there was a very sounded stupid line to that episode, but it was very good advice, actually, in my opinion. So, a little background on the episode. The kids had just bought a copy of the game World of Warcraft, and they were playing. I've never played this game, actually, but I kind of figured out how the game works watching this episode. And they're being taunted by a slightly older kid who's destroying their characters as they're playing and forcing them to start over. And the kids devise a plan to get rid of this guy. They were gonna spend many, many hours trying to level up, and to the extent that they could destroy this guy. And they are so crazy playing that none of the kids are leaving the computer to do anything. They're eating in front of the computer, they're sleeping in front of the computer. They're forced to take their computers everywhere they go just to play this game, and eventually they go up to the manufacturers of the game to get the secret weapon that they've never released, and they destroy this guy. And it must have consumed a good part of their lives. And then one of the kids asked his friend, well, what are we going to do now that we've destroyed this guy? And I think the other kid gave a very beautiful answer. Well, now we can play World of Warcraft. It's a very beautiful answer because it reminds me that a lot of people forget what they've set out to do. Once they get so involved and they entangle their entire lives doing what they what they set out to do, they forget why they did what they wanted to do. It reminds me of a few examples in my life, actually. 3 years ago, I was living in New York City when I moved out because I didn't feel safe or comfortable. Make a long story short, in layman terms, because I don't want to get into too much detail, I have a very sensitive nose, and the environment of New York made me ill, just from all the air pollution, and the stimuli of all the activity in New York. Is a very densely populated city, obviously, and I eventually landed a job at Microsoft here in Redmond. I've been let go of Microsoft. I'm working at a different place now, and I moved to Redmond in June of 2014. And my first day getting here, first of all, my apartment wasn't set up yet, and first night I got a hotel room, and I was just overjoyed. And I decided to celebrate. I went out and got some food, lot of food. We're talking about several bags of natural chips, several six-packs of non-alcoholic beer. What else did I get? Just the usual stuff. Hundreds of bananas, probably. I can't remember exactly what I ate. But I wolfed it all down. And then I went out to get more. And I just couldn't get enough of it because it had been a long time since I had a safe environment where I could breathe, and I kind of forgot that was normal. I thought that was a luxury. It really wasn't. It was normal. And then the next day I moved into the apartment. I was living in, this was a much bigger apartment than the place I am right now. And I proceeded to celebrate again because, oh my god, I finally moved into an apartment. And I went out and I got even more food. Now I had a place to cook. I got a whole a box, like a family pack of chicken drumsticks, and I cooked them all and I wolfed it all down. And then I went out to get even more, and then so forth. And then later that week, I obviously started my first day of work, and that was worth celebrating as well. And then June is an interesting month because I have two big life anniversaries that go on in June. June 11th and June 13th. I talk about this every June when they come up, actually, so you guys are well aware. But June 11th, 2011, first time a girl ever starts a conversation with me. Usually I have to start. June 13th of 2010 is the first time I've ever gone on what I call a solo sexual date, a date with myself. And those are two big life milestone anniversaries that I celebrate every year, almost without fail. I've added a few big anniversaries since then. December 8th, the day I started writing computer games, and a few other lesser important ones, but you get the idea. So those two big anniversaries come up, and I go out and gorge myself again. And I couldn't get enough of it. It was like every day was a big day, and I think this one, I remember after 4th of July, I was still doing this, so it went on for a month where every day was like some sort of holiday. And sometimes I had to remind myself, today, it doesn't seem like a holiday. I went to work and the stores were open. Why am I still doing this? And you see, the funny thing is, I couldn't force myself to stop binge eating. The binge eating itself had to die down on its own. And then eventually I realized the reason I moved to Redmond was because Redmond was a safe and comfortable place for me to live, and I landed a job here, and I almost forgot about that when I first got here. What else have I done? Well, 5 years ago I started writing computer games. I just mentioned December 8th, 2011. And the reason I started writing computer games was because earlier that year, well, actually a year and a half earlier, I had gotten myself into a rotten relationship, and I realized that I didn't have much, I don't know if this is the correct terminology, social equity. I didn't have much to my name that I could go out to a bar or a restaurant and talk about. I was collecting coins. Obviously, you don't go out and talk to people about that. I was, my PhD work wasn't very talkable. What else did I do? People don't want to hear about my healthy eating. The people who already eat healthy, it's boring to them. The people who are not, you're judging them. So it's a no-win situation there. And I was thinking about what I should do to give myself a conversation piece, if you will, when computer games came to mind. Anybody can play games. Some people can write games. It's something that there's a piece for everybody to listen to. And so I started writing computer games. Lately, I've been kind of compromising my health doing it, missing sleep, binge eating when I'm up all night doing it, sometimes jeopardizing my job and my social situation. But the funny thing is, I have already made quite a number of friends writing computer games, and I have to remind myself, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Let's connect with some of these people. And lately, that's what I've been doing. So I've been kind of wrapping up what I do have instead of starting new games, and finding ways to socialize with people from doing this. And I just had one of those South Park moments of, oh yeah, now that the games are here, it's time to socialize with these people. Thanks for watching.